All right, welcome to Chapter 1 of Oregon City, or Oregon Trail. In this, it's a You Choose book. It's Oregon Trail, the Wagon Train Trek. What's going to happen is I'm going to read from the first chapter today, and then in the comments below, I'm going to give you the two options that we have. And I want you to pick, and whichever you guys pick is what we'll do, and hopefully we'll make it to Oregon. Oregon Trail. Go west, young pioneer. It's 1855, and you and your family are headed west to Oregon City to start a new life. Your pa is a doctor and the leader of your wagon train. You're getting older now, so it's your responsibility to help Pa and Ma. Along with your two Newfoundland dogs, you will lead your team of 6 wagons from Independence, Missouri, all the way to Oregon City. Pa is eager to join in a new practice there. You're excited for a new home, wide open spaces, and the journey ahead. But it won't be easy. Your trek is fraught with many dangers. Bad weather, dishonest people, and diseases are just a few of the challenges that can end your trip on the trail. As the wagon train captains, it's your responsibility to make sure everyone gets to Oregon City safely. The folks in your wagon train may not always agree, so you'll need to be the mediators and carefully settle any disputes. Choose carefully, listen to others, and make wise decisions. Above all, keep your wagon train together. Choose carefully, listen to others, make wise decisions. Above all, keep the wagon train together. Only one path will get you safely to Oregon City. There are 23 possible endings full of danger, surprises, and adventure. You have to cross a dangerous river. How do you do it? You're surrounded by howling coyotes. What do you do? Your wagon train is at odds. Will you split up? Your decisions along the way might send you somewhere unexpected or put you at odds with other pioneers, or even worse, you might not make it at all. Before you start, be sure to read the guide, which is in the previous video. It will help you make wiser decisions. At some points along the trail, get advice from guides, people from various Native American nations, like the Kansa, the Cayuse, and the Klickitat, from members of your wagon train, or from Ma and Pa. At other times, you're going to have to trust yourself to make the right decision. Choose wrong, and you're not going to make it to Oregon City. Gardner Junction, April 27th, 1855. Rise and shine! You roll over and groan. It's just before dawn at Gardner's Junction, where the Oregon Trail and the Santa Fe Trail split off. Pa and Ma have already risen with the other wagon train families. They are feeding the oxen, preparing a hot breakfast over the campfire. It's been nearly 50 miles since you, Pa, and Ma, with your two Newfoundland dogs, George Washington and King George III, left Independence, Missouri. It was the last major settlement before starting on the Oregon Trail. Pa is a doctor who has received an invitation to help start a practice out in Oregon City. Doctors are desperately needed in the West, and your family couldn't pass up the opportunity. Not only is the doctor caring for your entire wagon train, but he's also the leader. There are 6 wagons in total. One man, Mr. Mason, is a banker with 2 wagons. Your family owns one, and the other 3 wagons belong to the Whitakers, O'Neills, and the Joneses. As the wagon train leaders, your family is responsible for making sure everyone gets to Oregon City safely. So far, you've crossed over pleasant open prairie, the gentle hills, but the travel will only get more difficult. The stopping points and trading posts are few and far between, so you must ration your food and plan your travel route carefully. The land will become rockier and more treacherous. Sudden storms could wipe out your entire wagon train in an instant. Accidents are common along the trail, as well as sickness and even death. You've already been walking nearly 18 miles a day since leaving Independence, but you'd like nothing more than to roll back over and sleep just a few more minutes. Hurry up before breakfast has come and gone. Pa flips the bacon. Up and at 'em. Slug a bed didn't even hear the bugle. You hear the sizzle of bacon. The delicious smell wafts into your tent. One of your dogs starts whining. Pa laughs. All right, you scoundrel. You'll get your food in a minute. You can't let your dog get to the food before you. Quickly dress and put away your bedroll. You quickly dress and put away your bedroll and clamber out of the tent. The grass is soft and green beneath your feet, and bunches of sunny yellow wildflowers sway in the cool April breeze. You know it isn't always going to be this pleasant on the trail, but right now, all you care about is bacon. Your dogs, King George III and George Washington, bound up to you, covering you with slobbering licks. You laugh and push them away. I'm awake, I'm awake. You take a seat next to Pa and help him pour cups of coffee for everyone. Ma enters your small camp, pulling your dairy cow behind her. Don't let those dogs near that food. There's plenty of rabbits about. Did Trixie wander off again? You take a bite of bacon. Blast it, that blasted cow. Ma nods, tying Trixie carefully to the back of the wagon. We need to make sure she's always tied up during the night. I don't know how she got free. Don't we have dogs to herd her back in? She shoots a dry look to both of the Georges. They just wag their tails. No tasty bacon for you lazy hounds. King George plops to the ground with a huff. You slip the massive, shaggy dogs each a half a strip of bacon anyway. Their tails wag gratefully. Your ma's right, though. Pa wipes morning dew from his spectacles. Food will get precious up ahead on the trail. We have to make sure we conserve our supplies and plan out exactly what we should ration. You have over 600 pounds of food on the wagon, 200 for each person, and you'll need to restock at the trading posts and hunt where you can. As you sink your teeth into a warm hunk of bread, you grimace at the thought of going months without a slice of Ma's famous apple pie. Your mouth waters at the thought of the dessert. You didn't realize how many things you'd miss until these past few days, but you know that adventure and opportunity lie ahead in Oregon City. As the sun rises over the flat horizon, you help Ma and Pa clean up from breakfast and prepare for the day's long travel ahead. As the only child, it's your responsibility to help feed and care for the animals, cook, and clean. You also keep a journal of your time on the trail. You finish your entry from yesterday, which unfortunately isn't that exciting. Mrs. Whitaker approaches. Dr. Howard, Mrs. Howard, good morning. Her husband, Mr. Whitaker, is a skilled carpenter and is expected to be instrumental in fixing broken axles and repairing damaged wheels on the trail. They have 3 children. Annie and Matthew are about your age. But William is a baby. Annie and Matthew have daily chores like you, but they also have a horse. They get to take turns riding the horseback to herd the loose cattle, including your cow, Trixie, who always wanders off. You wish you could have a horse too. After only a few days of walking, your legs already ache. Good morning, Mrs. Whitaker. Ma grabs the coffee kettle. Care for some? Mrs. Whitaker shakes her head. No, thank you. I'm sorry to disturb you, but I know we need to start moving soon. And I wonder if you've heard the news and rumors going around. All right, our choices are coming up, so make sure you're listening carefully. Pa frowns and glances at Ma. What rumors? Ma shakes her head. There's a bad bout of cholera up ahead on the trail, Mrs. Whitaker points. A few families want to try for the Santa Fe Trail instead. Pa adjusts his spectacles. That sounds a bit hasty. We should ask someone who knows the Oregon Trail better than we do. I'm sure we can find a guide among the other wagon trains here before they leave. Mrs. Whitaker puts up her hands on her hips. Do you really want to risk it? Pa and Ma look at each other, then turn to you. You're old enough to make this kind of decision. What do you think we should do? So here are our choices. Choice 1. Ask a local Oregon Trail guide about potential sickness ahead, or split up and go on the Santa Fe Trail. So in the comments below, I want you to put option 1, ask a local Oregon Trail guide, or option 2, split up and go on this Oregon or the Santa Fe Trail. So option 2 is the Santa Fe Trail. So put the comments below, and whichever gets the most, option 1, Oregon Trail, option 2, Santa Fe Trail, and I will, sorry, you dropped. I will